She wore faded low-rise jeans, sneakers, and a gray Hollister hoodie. It was late April, and the temperature outside had just tipped over 80 degrees, way too hot for a hoodie. She was trying to hide the cuts on her arms. Her mother, Mrs. Kitterman, seemed to have perfected her role as a trophy wife. She was in her late 40s but looked much younger, her face smooth and bright without the hint of a wrinkle, her sandy brown hair perfectly coiffed. Either she ate next to nothing or exercised every day, probably with an extra session of yoga. The diamond on her finger was so big, I was surprised she managed to lift her hand without assistance. Her husband probably brought in a hefty 6-figure salary. She dressed like she bought all her clothes from Neiman Marcus. Her cotton chinos, block-heel dress sandals, cotton Henley shirt. Her wardrobe today alone had to cost more than I made in a week. And that didn't count the leather Hermes bag she had propped between herself and her daughter. The woman had been droning on ever since they'd entered my office, saying how all this was very new to them, saying how nobody in her family had ever needed therapy before. Was her daughter supposed to lie on the couch and tell me about her feelings like they do on TV? On and on she went, lamenting how terrible life was now because of her daughter's depression, while Chloe sat quietly beside her, her gaze glued to the screen of her phone. At one point, Mrs. Kitterman stopped mid-sentence, as if suddenly realizing where she was and to whom she was offering up such private information. She glanced around the cramped room, the walls mostly bare, only spotted with the occasional framed motivational poster, and then glanced at her daughter. She spotted the phone and gave a heavy sigh. "Chloe, I thought I told you to put that away." Chloe didn't answer, kept staring down at the phone. Her thumbs moved across the screen in the strange choreography known only to teenagers. "Chloe, don't make me tell you again." A second ticked by with no response, and then Chloe issued a heavy sigh of her own and slammed the phone down on the arm of the couch before hugging her arms across her chest. Mrs. Kitterman stared at her daughter, then shook her head and rolled her eyes at me. "I mean it. I have no idea what's going on with this girl. She's just different. She used to be happy. I used to be able to have conversations with her. Now all she ever gives me is attitude." My cell phone vibrated on my desk, 2 quick buzzes, signaling a text message. Ignoring it, I nodded at Mrs. Kitterman to continue. She frowned at me. "You're younger than I expected." "I'm 28. "So you haven't been doing this very long." Her tone suggested that I lacked the necessary experience to work with her daughter, which, in a way, was true. I'd been working full-time as a therapist for only 4 years. Some of the other therapists at Safe Haven Behavioral Health had been working full-time for decades. "If you'd like Chloe to see another therapist, I can certainly make that referral. From what I understand, though, you requested me specifically." The woman's perfectly shaped nose wrinkled at this suggestion. "Well, not you specifically, but yes, you were recommended by the therapist at the inpatient facility. She was young, too, and she thought Chloe might be able to open up to somebody who's not so much older." She said it dismissively, like she couldn't begin to fathom why her daughter wouldn't be able to connect with someone 3 times her age. I forced a smile. "Again, if you'd like Chloe to see someone else, I can make that referral." "No, you don't have to do that, but it's just—" She paused, spotting the ring on my finger. "Are you married?" "Engaged." I looked down when I said it. My diamond was much smaller than Mrs. Kitterman's. "So you don't have any children?" She said this almost judgmentally, like I was expected to have at least 2 kids at home right now being taken care of by an au pair. I told her I did not. "Then how—" She waved her hands around as if hoping to pluck the right word from the air. "How are you supposed to help my daughter?" "Mrs. Kitterman, I've worked with many girls Chloe's age since I graduated from college." "And you've helped them all?"